What is up, everybody? Yes, okay, it looks like we got voice and everything else. What is going on, everybody? How are you doing? It is, as you can see, I actually have a lot of stuff. We have 4070 mobile, 4070 desktop setup. Over here we got 4070 mobile setup. We got data galore. If I just go to the capture, you can just see we got data galore. So we have a whole lot of stuff to basically go through today. And I want to make sure that we try to make this as awesome for you guys as absolutely possible. And of course we have our tech crew, which you can see there right now. So let's go ahead and bring them in so they can live respond to the data that we're kind of going through. But I know for a fact that most of you guys have probably taken some time to basically go through what's been happening in terms of the 4070 and its release, and you know, you've gotten your ideas in terms of where it stacks up, but at the same time maybe you haven't, and we want to spend some time walking through it, answering your questions, and doing this in whole thing live. And so I'm suffering for vertigo. So that is what we're going to talk about today. We're just going to basically chill, spend some time, show you guys games, show you both the mobile version with the brand new Eon16-S from Origin, as well as the desktop version, of which we have two versions here. We have the Founders Edition, and we have the Dual from Asus, which is the one we actually have on the bench right now. So just trying to give you guys a smattering. Now tomorrow we'll actually do a 4070 build. So, you know, again, to celebrate that, showing off the Zotac. We also have the Asus TUF, so to show it in a different build. But we're actually going to try and do either a small form factor or just smaller case build, given how much smaller this GPU is. I think, you know, it's interesting, right? Like, I think the reviews in general have been fairly mixed in terms of where people are, and you know, I'm in the same boat, right? Like, what we look at is we actually have something that's actually very power efficient. It kicks in the right place in terms of where we are looking at from a performance standpoint, but the biggest issue is just the price, again, coming in at $599, which is $100 more expensive than essentially the 3070 was. And in this current economy, anything like that basically gets a little bit crazy. But I think one of the things that we always do is, there's one thing when you see just a ton of graphs and all that sort of stuff, it gives you an idea versus actually showing real world performance. And I think we saw that a little bit yesterday when we showed off Cyberpunk, because a lot of people were looking at Cyberpunk's ray tracing Overdrive version, and people were making their own assumptions based on what they saw in the YouTube videos. But when you guys actually saw me play it live, it was hella impressive. We were seeing 100 plus frames per second on a 4090 with frame generation. It was a great gameplay experience, and frankly, like, even the latency, the frame latency and everything like that ended up being way better than people expected. And that's one of the things that I like about live, is that we can just look at you guys, and you guys can ask your questions. And then if you guys are like, no, Robey, I want to know this, or I want to know that, we can change that data on the fly, versus when you've done a curated YouTube video, we can't really do anything like that. So that's my spiel for today. Now we do have giveaways and stuff like that, like we normally do. Yes, people are getting this multiple days of Robeytech today, and so we have the usual here. Let's get started off with Twitch. Basically, the way things are going to work out on Twitch, if we get to 50 subs, we unlock a $50 Newegg gift card, 100 subs, $100 Newegg gift card, 150 subs, $150 Newegg gift card, and it grows from there. We also have the sub-only giveaway for Twitch and Discord, which is a new PC. We're going to be basically building a PC. That's going to be one of the 4070 systems we're going to basically be giving away. I had to wait till we could announce that. So one of the 47, so it'll be a 4070 5800X 3D system that we'll be giving away, and that's the sub-only giveaway for the month for the people on Twitch and Discord. If you want to get on that, you can sub on Discord or sub on Twitch. Actually, both of those stack together. And then if you subscribe at tier 1, you get 3 entries. Subscribe at tier 2, you get 5 entries. Subscribe at tier 3, you get 10 entries. And it's going to be, and it just basically grows from there. So pretty epic. I'm excited about it. Now, if you're over at Kick, which we're brand new, and we're just now inviting people over from kick.com, if we get to 300 subs, we give away a 3060, and then it grows all the way up to a 4090 if we basically get up to 1600 subs. But depending on what we get for the month, it determines how big the giveaway basically ends up being for the awesome, basically awesome new Kick people. So, guys, subs are available on both of those. And then, of course, 250 likes over on the YouTube video unlocks another $25 Newegg gift card. So, lots of awesome, lots of things, tons of giveaways. And don't forget, head on over to, we'll get a link out for the Origin giveaway for the AMD Advantage system. That is also live, so if you want to check out that and get in on that giveaway as well. So, lots of giveaways, lots of ways to win as we go through it there. So, that's my spiel. Discord, my text, can you guys hear me? You guys can see them up there. It looks like we got who do we got joining us today? We got Zeiston and, can they hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, just see. We got Zeiston, we got Icy Sniper, and we got BMOC. But only see 2 people on the bubble, so we'll have to work on that. But welcome everybody. Okay, so let's start with BMOC. BMOC, general impressions of the RTX 4070 based on just what you've seen, and then we'll walk through all the specs and stuff. But you've probably taken in you've done your morning coffee, watching it while coddling your sleeping toddler. What are your thoughts on the 4070 thus far?
It seems like a decent card. Price a little bit lower than the 3080 for the same performance. Get the new DLSS 3 frame generation with it. A little bit of improved ray tracing. Okay. Yeah. So all in all, you're like, again, it seems like most people, and we're even seeing some of that stuff in chat already, overpriced, get a 6950 XT. Even I think one of the things that was super interesting even about Linus's video is he talked about the fact that, you might see 3080s that are on sale for $500 and sometimes even less, so $300 to $400. So even then, where you're talking about punching. So again, price seems to be the biggest thing. Now, some people are saying, hey, get a 6950 XT. That's an interesting thing here when we talk about, versus a 7900 XT or a 7900 XTX, where you have a lot of that newer technology versus stepping down to an older gen. Even on a 3080, you're missing DLSS 3 frame generation, you're missing AV1 encoding, you're missing basically their improvements to the render pipeline. So it's kind of in this weird spot, right, when you think about stepping down. So any thoughts on that? Either Icy or Org or Zeiston? I'd love anybody to chime in. Org, maybe what about you? What are your thoughts? I love getting tech thoughts, and we can talk to them for real, guys.
I didn't see the full specs on like AV1 not being fully supported, but as far as the specs go, it's not a bad card, but yeah, it's just a bit overpriced.
Okay. Zeiston, any thoughts on your side? Have you thought about it? It looks like Icy bailed, so he was like, no, I'm out. He's fixing his audio issue. Okay, no, he'll be back in a minute. Well, Zeiston, what do you guys? Any thoughts? I turned him up.
I would basically just completely reiterate what those guys said. That pretty much hits the nail on the head.
Okay. Or can you talk for me one more time? I'm just trying to get you as loud as possible. And you may need to turn up your mic.
Testing. I don't think I can turn this up, but is that loud enough?
Okay, I got him a little bit louder, guys. I got him as loud as he can, but yeah, there we go. So, okay, so let's recap. We kind of jumped in here. We're going to see if Icy can talk at one point in time, but let's just kind of recap what this is. So let's grab our Founders Edition 4070, which we have right here. So this is, and probably the part that I'm most excited about for this card is its size, because it's a tiny little card. When you think about how big this is compared to so many of the other 40 series, this is around the same size of a 3070 Founders Edition card. In terms of power and wattage, it basically has 185 watts in terms of what it is gaming. It has a max of about 220. It's $599. The other thing that's super interesting for the first time, and I'm going to show you guys a top down of this. I think you guys can see this. But also, look at this, guys. I don't know if you saw this. This is the dual card, but you have cards that are not using the 16-pin. This has actually got a single 8-pin PCI connector on the dual card here from Asus. So we actually have 4070s that don't require the 16-pin connector too, which I don't know if I guess I wasn't expecting that out of any partner card. Is that surprising to anybody?
I think with some of the controversy about the new cable, whenever it launched, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah. So it's interesting that they actually went off to it. How I don't know how you can draw enough power through it. Nemesis. It's interesting, right? This is Asus's entry-level card. Again, this one is MSRP, so all the cards that you guys are hearing from an embargo standpoint are at MSRP today. So this card, we'll test it. That's why I basically threw this one on the bench, was to make sure that it was interesting, right? Because I think you guys have seen a lot of data, but not a lot of people actually. I think I'm one of the only few people who actually have the Asus here, and you're seeing content on it today. So it'll be interesting, but we'll see it. We're going to test it, and we'll see what it draws, right? So, and we have all of that. We have all that set up already. So we'll see. And then the second thing, okay, so again, it's 80104 in terms of its die, so it's similar to the 4070 Ti. This has 5,888 CUDA cores, 12 gigabytes of GDDR6, and like I said, we talked about the 185 watts already. In terms of boost clocks, we're looking at a significant boost clock here from the 3070, which was like 1,730 megahertz. This one goes up to 2,475. This is on the TSM smaller nanometer process, which means it's a smaller die, but overall way more efficient. And then again, when we're talking about overall performance, we're looking at a card that is performing somewhere between right around the 3080, and in some cases even the 3080 Ti. The moment you start turning on all of the other radical features that NVIDIA provided. In terms of just raw rasterization power, we're looking at very similar to the 3080 just in core stuff. And in many cases, we're seeing the closest competitor in terms of the AMD cards is actually the 6800 XT in terms of what you get from a cost standpoint. So, and obviously the 6800 XT being significantly less expensive. But at the same time, the one thing you do is the moment you add in ray tracing, which now you're looking at over 50. I think NVIDIA threw out a number that 50-something% of NVIDIA now 3,000 and 4,000 users enable DLSS, which is actually a pretty high number given what you're talking about from there as it started to pop through there. That is significant in terms of people doing ray tracing, and then now it'll be even more interesting to see what this means from a Cyberpunk standpoint, specifically given path tracing. I don't know, guys. Do you think? What do you think? It'd be interesting just listening to the text on a little bit. I don't know if Zystan. Let's start with Org. Org, what do you think about? What do you think people's the populace impression has been of Cyberpunk's Overdrive demo? Do you think it's like technically? It feels like it's a change in the direction that game developers are going to go, or do you feel like it just feels like a tech demo right now?
In general, people are favoring graphics over FPS for single-player games, so that's where this is going. But I still feel Cyberpunk is more of a FPS-heavy combat game, so you still want a good balance.
Okay, BMOC, any thoughts on your side?
I had one thing I wanted to add about the power connector. If you don't mind.
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, no, for sure.
And then I noticed in the chat, Maiden was wanting to see if you could get a view of those fans on the fan side of that graphics card for the Asus.
Oh, sure. Of course we can. We got the side camera right here. Somebody was saying 4070 can only, Cyberpunk, the 4090 only gets 80 FPS. Nemesis, you should watch the stream from yesterday. We were getting way over. It depends. There's a lot in terms of what that means. In terms of what you get from the path tracing standpoint. But we were playing at 100 plus frames per second at quality with frame generation and everything else on. We are going to absolutely test the Cyberpunk demo on the 4070. That is absolutely something that needs to be tested, for sure. Max Ultra, yes, Nemesis. You can watch the whole stream. It was last night.
But what I was going to say about the power connector, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. And then Araxis, we can talk about the frame gen at lag stuff here in a minute, because we even noticed that has gone down too. Go ahead, BMOC.
So the 8-pin is supposed to be lower wattage cards, and once you do your testing on there, you should be able to get a good gauge. And I think NVIDIA, they pushed out their Founders Edition's first day to get those better numbers, because the cards using the new connector are supposed to be 220 watt, whereas the 8-pin connector cards are supposed to be 200 watt, which also could affect your overclocking headroom too. So I think what you'll see is some of the lower end cards are going to use the 8-pin, and then the higher end cards on the stack are going to be using the new 16-pin.
And Linus actually had a whole video already in terms of the overclocking headroom on these cards. Doesn't actually seem that high, at least on the Founders Edition. It'll be interesting. Obviously, we actually, in the studio, we have the Tough, which we can't show today, the Zotac, which we can't show today, but we have the Dual and the Founders Edition, and they weren't, his lab team was actually able to play with the I'm looking to the left like you guys are standing over there, actually able to play with the overclocking, and there wasn't a ton they could do. I think it was like a 3 or 4% performance gain, even when doing overclocking on the 4070 Founders Edition. Yeah, Igor, interesting thing. Igor, an interesting question that you brought up right there was you said that you saw your 4070 Ti handle path tracing. How did your what did you see from your frame rate and what were your settings? And then I think you were playing at 1440p, right? Yeah. So, the cable from my PSU has 2 4-pin connectors. Can I be used? Oh, that's a different question. People are answering that. Oh, going in there. So. Okay, well, I mean, like, again, we are going to start playing with it. We got all the games downloading and downloaded thus far. The 4070 mobile is already going. Right now, it's basically working through Cyberpunk, and then we'll let it go in there. Now, the second part that we're going to do, and this is the part that's more interesting, we're a more comprehensive 4070 test, is we actually also have in the studio the Eon16-S, which is the 4070 mobile. So for those who don't know, mobile has also just recently released, and their stack is 4070 and higher in terms of what you can get with the different laptop GPUs. So we actually also have the 4070 mobile here in the studio. Equivalency, you're looking at, we think, around a 3080. We're going to be testing some of that. We also have Cyberpunk downloaded, Hogwarts, a bunch of games like that. So we're also going to show how performance is on the mobile 4070 as well. So you guys can take a look at that. Now, laptops and desktops, for folks who don't know, are very, very different. And expectations in terms of their performance and their heat and everything else are very, very different. As somebody who travels as much as I do, I love my laptop. Taking laptops and having I've had a 3080 Ti laptop for a long, long time, provided by Origin, that has been a workhorse for me, especially when I'm traveling, and then now using it even as a mobile studio. So I know, if you just saw recently my PAX coverage on the 4090 in terms of what it was capable of for Cyberpunk, and then Jay just released a video on the 4090 version of the Origin laptop. You're looking at desktop. This thing is outperforming a desktop 3090, which from a mobile standpoint is actually very, very impressive, especially for the amount of wattage that this is able to pull. So we're going to be able to show you some of, even if you're looking at, like, maybe you're not looking for a desktop, but you're looking for a good laptop variant. The laptop we're looking at here today is sub $2,000 or around $2,000, and you might actually find an option there as well. So some pretty cool things going in there. Biggest issue, it will be VRAM. Yeah, I see Sniper. We'll have to see how that goes. I think that, there's been some interesting videos about the VRAM stuff just already in general in terms of how crazy game developers are getting out there. Do max settings, ray tracing, overdrive with DLS auto. I average 46.95. How much did you actually end up playing that last night, Igor? When you don't need ray tracing, not Robeytech. Go for the 6900 XT. Guys, I have a whole video. And this is what I love about doing it live, because I don't have to stay on. I have a whole video about a buyer's guide for 6000 series Radeon. I mean, all in all, like, when you think about where those GPUs, where basically Radeon GPUs punch in terms of pricing, yes, they are an incredible value. The only thing that really kind of still is that little, I don't even know if Achilles heel, but it's like the small chink in their armor. Is just the lack of ray tracing, like where it is from a ray tracing standpoint. But that is not a big deal for most people, and for those people who it is, I mean, which is a very, I don't know if we'd say niche anymore, but it is a smaller audience, and so ray tracing is always just one of those things that, at least for me, it actually is, because I like ray tracing. I use it all the time. I use DLSS all the time in my gaming, but I also understand that minority, and when I look at value, it's hard not to argue about the value of a Radeon GPU. Yeah. The GB on the lower 40 series cards is rough. Wow, okay. Wow, so So, and again, again, one of the things that's really nice here is we're looking at 12 gigabytes on the 4070. But obviously, when you think about the 4090 and what you have on some of those, obviously, larger cards, that's always nice. So, where are you guys? What Tech's thoughts on minimum VRAM? I'll point it. Go ahead, Zyson.
It's getting to the point now to where it's gonna need to be at least 12 plus.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like so again, this one. Do you feel like there's VRAM limitations on the 4070?
If there's not immediately, there will be within the next year or two.
For 12 gigs, even, you think?
Yeah, it's even getting close with 12 gigs. I would say within the next 2 to 3 years, it's probably going to need to be 16 minimum, but currently 12 is, yeah.
So, Org, one of the things that you're thinking, like we've talked about a little bit, we watched the Cyberpunk. You were watching live the Cyberpunk Overdrive demo that we did yesterday, and you were surprised by the lack of, basically the frame times and how that's kind of come down. You want to talk a little bit about that? Because it's an important NVIDIA. Like they've been getting better, right? So it's important to highlight that because you were expecting higher frame times, yeah?
Yeah, the old tech demos, I should say. They try to push so much FPS, and they just put in so much extra delay. It actually was a problem.
So now it seems like that's getting better. This Discord chat thing does not seem to be. Let me see if I blow it up or like what is. This doesn't seem to actually be doing anything. It doesn't show who's talking. You guys just have a bubble of people, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything else. Yeah, because I see it working here, but it doesn't. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Oh, okay, I did something wrong. Let me fix this because I want this to show so you guys can see who's talking. Okay, so it's like let's put this Control A, Control V, and then it's 312 by 600. Okay. Oops. 312. 600. Okay, there we go. Okay, it looks like it's working. How's that? Look at that. Is that better, guys? Now you guys can actually see it stuff.
Looks better.
Okay, so now can we just get a little hype for the fact that you guys gave feedback yesterday, and then we're right back, and we already have the features you guys are asking for. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, Redfall. Redfall just came out with the fact that they're going to be launching on Xbox and they're going to be launching without 60 FPS mode. Man, so I'm a little bummed by I'm a little weary or leery about how good Redfall is going to be going in there. So looking forward to it. Okay, so let's dive into some data just in terms of showing you guys some of the stuff that we've done. Again, we obviously this is just a small smattering of testing. To be honest, there's one of those things that we can never seem to we'll never be able to compete at the Linus level in terms of just overall performance. But here we are looking at game performance of just a series of games across a bunch of different GPUs. We are redoing our 6000 series stuff. So again, we don't have 6000. I'm kind of in the same boat as Jay because there have been so many driver updates and I don't have a team of 1 million people to pull through all this stuff through. But here you guys can look at a bunch of data here. We include also DLSS 2.0 and frame generation for the games that are basically providing it. Things like Cyberpunk 2077. We've also now got Forza Horizon. Now you might see yellow in there. The reason that we have that highlighted in yellow is because we had to use a different tool to pull wattage. But one of the things that's actually been super cool about the latest generation of NVIDIA GPUs has literally been their efficiency and specifically what they're pulling from a wattage average in terms of when they're basically gaming. And it's funny because I think one of the things that Linus saw is he saw a high wattage of 230. The highest we ever saw was 170. But again, we were using a different tool for pulling our wattage. We were using frame time from that. So just giving you guys an idea, just taking a look at this. I'm not going to show graphs. I'd rather just show you guys that we have all the raw data. It's just a little bit clearer from there. So we've run our testing as well. And then we've done it in a bunch of different variations and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, it's taking time to optimize equals more dev cost. I love NVIDIA, but they don't care about longevity. $1,000 should last you for years at least. But then again, that's when you can go 4K is the best resolution, so what's next? 8K. What are you talking about? 8K is the next resolution, right, guys? Right, Tex? Isn't that what's next? Or you've already bought your 8K monitor, right?
So we're talking 8K in the next 10, 20, 30 years, right?
No, 10, 20, 30 minutes, 20, 30 months.
Yeah.
8K is a meme. You can't even see the detail of 8K without being too close to, without seeing the entire screen.
It's no, I'm sorry. I actually do know Maiden has already picked up his 8K monitor. He's already got one. He's 8K all in, and he's powering it all with his 7900 XTX because it's got DisplayPort 2.1, right, Maiden?
I got it yesterday.
Yeah, see? I knew it. See? I knew it. Like that we know. Guys, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean what's next? 8K's next, right? That's all real. I'm just kidding. I know it's not real. Okay, 4K 240 hertz. Yes, I think 4K 240. I think it's just basically higher frame rates of 4K. But I just don't think that we're gonna see. I think we're just now starting to see a transition from esports and professional gaming sports moving over to 1440p. So I don't even know if high refresh rate 4K has a market right now. I think C there is basically saying 1440p 165 is my sweet spot. And I would agree, for most people, that's most people's sweet spot because I think it was weird, and I don't know, this is an interesting question. 4K 10,000, there we go. I will say that it's an interesting place because I feel like a lot of people, and maybe I was wrong, but I expected 1440p to still even be a focus for this gen, and it feels like all of the GPUs we have coming out, I mean, this is the first one, the 4070 is the first one that's been kind of marketed as from even NVIDIA as a 1440p, maxing out games at 1440p, which is actually pretty crazy. So yeah, we now have like really confident 4K gaming cards thanks to tools like FSR and DLSS, which is actually pretty crazy. And I'm here still running 1080p. I have a 3090 and still stay on 1440p, plan to stay on it while I upgrade. Yeah, for sure. Path tracing plus DL, yeah, I mean, that might be the other thing, and that's the part that kind of like, I feel like path tracing might be like, it's the new tech that will then maybe determine what we see from GPUs, right? So it'll be 4K with this tech lined up, and I feel like AI and a little bit of that has also been a big push. I mean, one of the things that we've also seen is that I think something that Linus pointed out in his review, and I think even Steve brought it up, that they're specifically talking about the fact that the generational leap in 40 series hasn't necessarily been in the performance from a raw rasterization standpoint, but it's in their render pipeline tech and also in their AI tech that they're bringing through, right? So it feels like even in some direction, like we may be capping out in terms of resolutions, but you might see 4K with raw plus this other AI and ray tracing, path tracing, and stuff like that too. Yeah, making 4K more pretty. Thank you, Nemesis. Yeah. I'm about to throw my computer out the window. My Ethernet is not working, and it's because of the Mobo. Hey, Igor, what Mobo? Can I just ask? Do you have an Aorus? Is it Aorus or Gigabyte? I'm just curious. 32 4K is the smallest 4K I'd even bother buying, and you might need to use scaling. There are some nice 42 to 43-inch 4K monitors. I love your channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, JC. RTX 4070 FPS DLSS Cyberpunk Edition. Oh, it's an Asus. Okay, that's surprising. Yeah, I haven't had a I've had some of the issues with, specifically with Aorus, but I've never had my Asus ones go through there. Okay, guys, okay, so let me lead it this way. What do you guys want to see first? Do you guys just want to start seeing some games and how the 4070 performs? Do you want to see a little bit about 4070 mobile? Let's put a vote up in the chat. You want to see games? Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of what the vote is. I don't know what text. Let's lead it over to you guys. What do you guys think would be interesting? What's up, Riddick? I love my Samsung. People are talking about monitors. What's up? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Robey. What was the question? I was reading chat.
What are you guys thinking? Well, that's good. That's what you guys do best, and I appreciate that. What do you guys think would be the most interesting thing? Should we just jump into what does this 4070 do and what power and power draw and all that stuff is?
Yeah, let's start beating on the cards so we can have some actual raw data that we've seen.
Yep.
happen.
Okay. What game should we start with, guys? What do we want to start with? Cyberpunk? Should we start with
Cyberpunk with path tracing was probably the hardest thing you're going to hit it with.
Yeah.
At the moment, so start from
I
the
agree.
top and work back.
Okay, well, let's go in there. I'm going to show you guys. I want to give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on setting stuff up for when we do, and even things that you can do for your own testing and stuff like that. So let's go over here to side. So 1 FPS. Okay, wow, you guys are, and in terms of resolution, guys, we are going to be testing at 1440p. That is what this card is marketed as. We could just for funsies put it up to 4K, you know, just to have some entertaining, but I'd like to keep it at 1440p because, you know, I think we're just being mean, right? Thoughts, guys?
I agree.
Okay, let's get that higher. Okay.
Maybe at 4K you can pull the 200 watts.
Yeah, see if we can get it to max. Okay. Okay, here we go, guys. What camera? Okay, we're on side camera. Let's go to capture here. Oh, I'm on the wrong capture. Okay, let me bring my HDMI over. This is the thing. It's like, it was funny. One of the reasons, like, as I started to think through all of the stuff that we're going to test, I was like, man, I need to be able to plug this in and plug this in. So it just took a lot more to set up something like this. It almost feels like we have tyranny of choice in terms of options. Okay, here we go. Plugging in the 4070. Oh, that's DisplayPort. That would not help. Plugging in the HDMI into DisplayPort. That's a good idea. That does not work, just so you guys. What's your question?
So you mentioned you were using a different tool to measure the wattage. What exactly were you using versus what you normally use?
So we were using frame view to measure it because we couldn't get it to show up on other ones. We're hoping with this card we will be able to see it. We will know more here very, very soon. Okay, so
okay, and that might just be a limitation of the pre-release driver too.
Yeah. So I guess we'll find out. Yeah, the new driver is not out yet, which was unfortunate. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this now, and we have the right camera. Cool. Okay, so it's currently downloading still games, but Cyberpunk's downloaded, which is good. You can see that we've downloaded. I've tried to download as many games as possible just to give you guys the best possible chance. I wish where we had HDMI 2 with G-Sync pass-through. DJ Techno, I wish that too. Yeah. It feels like there should be a bigger market for that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to grab MSI Afterburner. We have the driver on here. Again, this is a 12900K with a 4070 GPU. The other thing too is like I wanted to make sure that when we get to the point where I'm going to play some Cyberpunk maybe later on in the stream, that I can then just throw a 4090 on it and we can continue our adventure. But in the short term, this will work. So let's extract here. And I'm just going to show you, if you want to do some of the same things, like I want to show you basically how to do that setup. So we're just going to get this installed. And this is all going to go here. So we're just going to show you if you want to look at the same data, this is the same thing you'd basically go and do for setup. So we need Resident Evil 4 benchmarks. Guess what? Resident Evil 4 is downloaded. So I got that. I've got Resident Evil 4 downloaded. I'm trying to think of what else we actually have on here. I think I tried to get Flight Sim, but you basically need to install Flight Sim like the night before. Because that's the downloads. We got Callisto Protocol, Call of Duty, Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, God of War, Hogwarts Legacy, Last of Us Part 1. We got Plague Tale, Resident Evil 4, Returnal, and we've got Witcher 3 on the build. So some pretty good options, right? Satisfactory benchmarks for Zeiston. What do you think? Satisfactory, how's this going to run satisfactory, Zeiston?
Which CPU is in it? Because Satisfactory is definitely CPU bound.
It's a 12900K.
It'll get hot, but it'll run nicely.
There we go. What was Last of Us is on here. I do have Last of Us. But I don't know. Has there been issues with Last of Us on NVIDIA CPUs?
There's been issues with Last of Us on everything.
They really dropped the ball on the port.
Steam is issuing refunds beyond the 2-hour window.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay, so we'll see. Maybe we still show it. Okay, so you can see there we have an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070. Let's see what we can see. We can see. Okay, so we can show on-screen display. We can show GPU temperature. So we'll get that in there. You guys, let me know if you want to see anything else. GPU usage, right? We probably want to show that.
GPU usage, temperatures, VRAM, and 1%, and clock speed.
Okay, show, override. Oh, dang it. When you copy the wrong thing. GPU usage. You want to see memory usage? You said.
Yep, memory usage.
Core clock. We want power. There it is. We can see it. That'll be good. I know we can see it in MSI, which you could. You guys want to see fan speed? No. Tachometer, temp limit, no. Power limit, no. Voltage limit, no. No load limit. Okay, cool. So we're good there.
Hey, Robey, Icy was wanting to know if we could see the frame time graph.
The frame. I can do frame time. Is there a way to do frame time graph in MSI?
Yeah, it's near the bottom.
Okay, yeah, for sure. We can turn that on. Dude, yes. The answer is yes, Icy.
And he's at work, so he's gonna type in chat some, so we may.
You guys can bring him in. That's what we're doing. This is to make it more interesting. You guys help me make it more interesting. Okay, clock. We're doing all this stuff live, boys and girls. There's power. Just because we're gonna still show, I mean, I don't know why. I just feel like RAM usage, you guys care about frame time, frame rate, we want frame time. I've actually never shown the frame time graph. Okay, and then you said, oh, you want 1%?
Yeah, the
right?
1% would be nice.
Okay.
So in the frame time, make sure the drop-down box under Show On-Screen Display says Graph.
Oh, okay, here. Graph, okay. Like that?
No, on the, so you see to the right where it says text?
Yeah, I changed it to
Yeah,
graph.
you got it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we got graph there. On screen, we're just gonna set these, Control I. So if you guys wanna do the same thing, I just wanna give you like a nice tutorial. So you guys can see that. Control O, Control P, apply that. We're gonna change benchmarking, Control K, Control L. And then we're gonna go here and we're gonna change this, make this bigger. And bring it down a little bit, just so we don't break any dead up. Okay, cool, we got that. Somebody talked about 1% average. We can do, I don't think it actually has, if we have frame rate average, but we actually have to take it through there, and most of the ones we're gonna run are benchmark, so we should be okay there. So, yeah, next build is tomorrow night, guys. There is not Miltor, the next build's tomorrow night. We're gonna be doing a 4070 build that we're gonna be giving away. So yeah. Okay, so I think we have everything set there. See how our download's doing. I might have to reboot real quick, guys. So this is at 24%. I'm gonna let this little bit finish. And then I think that's all the downloads. Guys, we got them all in time. It's on the last, like the last bit. Okay, I can reboot this. Oh, did this actually finish? I'm gonna cancel this. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna reboot. And then we'll get started. Okay, just rebooting because we did a, and just so you guys know, we used DDU to completely erase the drivers, so this is all like completely clean in terms of setup. So, I found out Microsoft Edge has a browser offline game. What is that? I haven't even heard of that. How much? I mean, you guys probably. Do you guys spend a bunch of time, benchmarking text? Do you guys spend a ton of time doing this kind of thing, just for funsies?
Quite a bit of time, yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
and it
typically
like. Go ahead.
Oh, typically whenever I make a big system upgrade, I'll spend first couple days
Getting the lowdown. Maiden, do you have a number of systems that you have? Like, do you have a big number of hardware to play around with?
Right now, I just have a full AMD system. It's a 5800X 3D and a 6800 XT, and then I have a 12700K and a 3070. But that's it for now.
Okay. Let's open up Steam here. Let me see. Library. Does it work? I want large mode. Okay, there we go. Okay, I just want, this should be good. Okay, that's at 82%. We'll let this last a little bit done, and then we'll actually have all the downloads done. We won't have to worry about that anymore. And then we'll launch Cyberpunk. Are people enjoying this content? What's up, everybody? Are people enjoying this? Are you guys, is this good content? Are you enjoying what we're showing here? Because that's what I want to make sure that you guys are having a good time. You sold all the parts to BMOC? Oh, that's cool. BMOC bought them all? Okay. Letting the download finish. Good, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. This is different than what we typically do, so I want to make sure this is entertaining. Okay, there we go. We are ready. Going into Cyberpunk. First game. Any calls on what are we expecting from a 1440p ray tracing ultra? What do you guys? I'm getting some predictions. BMOC, what do we think? What do we think our frame rate's going to be? Okay, he has no idea. Zeiston, what do you think? DLSS, let's do raw. Let's do no DLSS. 1440p, no DLSS, ray tracing ultra.
ray tracing or path tracing.
Ray tracing. We'll do path tracing after we do all this stuff. We'll just show it off them.
Ray tracing, no DLSS. It's gonna be low. 30 maybe.
Okay, we got 30. Or you got a call.
Not sure, Armsy. You doing 4K or 2K?
1440p.
I'm hoping you pull like 45.
Okay. Let's go settings. We're gonna go to video. We are at 1440p. Go to graphics. We're on ray tracing ultra. We're gonna turn DLSS off. So, and I'm just gonna make sure everything's here. Ray tracing's on. Reflections. We don't have path tracing on. So we're gonna hit apply here. Okay, so this is the first.
Robey, are you gonna switch your capture?
Oh yeah, this is the. Oh yeah, her. Sorry. Okay, so this is the first. The first. Thank you very much for doing that. We are gonna. Blondie is looking into a way for her to remote control, so that doesn't happen again. This is the first. This is the Asus Dual. So this is. I don't think many people have seen this card. The Asus Dual. Basically on Cyberpunk 4070 with a single 8-pin. Running this one now. So here we go. Right now it's 70 watts. Well, there's 183 watts. That jumped up real quick. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna be about 30. That's not bad.
30 was my guess too when Zeiston said it.
So I think 30 is actually looking, 30 looks pretty good actually. Huh. Sabine says nauseating frame time skips. Are you guys? Well, I mean, like again, I mean, this is still pretty low, right? So I mean, yeah, this. I would probably not want to play like this.
Damn it, I need more time. I've got a lot going on.
Interestingly, it is over 8 gigs for the VRAM.
If anything.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So there it is right there. So 35.45, minimum was 28, which you saw a little bit of those dips for sure. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I wasn't even paying attention to that. I wish we could just show how, oh yeah, there it is, over 8 gigs right there. Yeah, so we're showing over 8 gigs on that. Okay, so here we go. Let's make it fun now. Setting DLSS, we're at 1440p. We're gonna set it to balance, which is the NVIDIA setting for this. They're not. They're reversed. There's fans that are built as reversed and fans that are built as normal. So there are specific fans that go in specific places. So if you look at the fans, they'll say reversed or they'll say normal. So they're made as they look like normal fans, but they're actually fan curves are for exhaust. Kevin was asking about the D30s. Okay, here we go. So this is DLSS now. With not frame generation. Let's turn frame generation off. So this is DLSS 2.0 essentially. No frame generation, set to balance, which is the ideal one for 1440p. And we will take a look at it now. But yeah, I think 30 frames was a little bit better than I expected. I think I was expecting lower, so maybe I had a low bar. Yes, we can. We can try it. We'll do, this is frame generation off first. Somebody asked, is there a big difference between windowed mode versus full screen in the game? Well, it's dedication versus window mode is non-dedicated. So there can be some application things that come out of that. So here we go. Here's 60 frames per second. There's still a little bit of stuttering. I mean, it still looks really good. But this is playable. I mean, I would say this, I could play using this. We'll be able to buy I think the 4070 goes on sale. I think, yeah, yeah, look, this is playable for sure. I think the 4070 is on sale I am noticing the jitters. There is some jitter there. It's not as smooth as what I was used to. Well, we'll try it with frame generation next. So 72.76. I think that if you're if you're paying attention, but when you're playing, I think that I would probably be okay with that. Yeah. Okay, let's go one more time. This time we'll do it. This is with frame generation, apply. Oh, this is doing that stupid thing. I'm not gonna go to escape. This is where it gets weird. If you don't, it won't run with frame generation. What's up, Box? How are you? I like this. This is like a different audience than usually who watches the build. You guys are actually like looking at frame time graphs, and it's pretty awesome. Okay, here we go. Graphics, we're gonna go to on. We have frame generation on. Just make sure we're balanced. Apply. And then we have ray tracing on. Okay. Okay, so here's with frame generation. And you guys are talking about heartbeats. You're talking about things like, well, I mean, we're not gonna get it now. Like those right there. Like you're seeing, is that what you're talking about for the frames, for frame skips?
Yeah, that's what he's directly talking about.
So we're at 100 frames per second now. At 1440p. This is way smoother. Yeah, we're at 8 gigs. Yeah, we're at 8.2 now at 1440p. So you guys really think that we'll see at 1440p, we'll see VRAM usage in the 16 gig range?
Yes.
Not in this game, but in Resident Evil 4 or Hogwarts, probably.
Okay, interesting. Well, there we go, guys. Okay, so now is the big one. You guys wanted to see. Okay, well, we have those games, which is great. So we're gonna go to exit. We're gonna go ahead and run. Let's go ahead and try path tracing. You guys want to try path tracing raw just to test it? No DLSS, no nothing.
If we want to see single digits, you can.
What do you guys think? Let's do it. People say, yeah, somebody says yes. They want to vote. They want to see it. 5. Okay, voting. This is just for funsies because you guys get to do this live and this is the fun stuff. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna turn frame generation off. We're gonna turn DLSS off. And we are turning on path tracing. Apply. Here we go. Ready? Let's see what the wattage is. Guys, look for the wattage. By the way, this card is not having any issue pulling the wattage it needs. That's 189. That's, I think, the highest we've seen. 15, 14. Not single digits, guys.
Yeah, look at your frame timing.
Oh, I know. It's guys, that frame timing is awesome. What are you talking about? That's great. I know what you guys are complaining about. Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at the VRAM.
Reminds me of trying to play Star Fox.
Great for the N64.
Nah, SNES.
No, Araxis, we're on we're giving this the worst possible situation right now. This is the 4070 under the worst possible conditions. Zyson, I'm trying to keep up with you on the water drinking here today.
Good luck.
I could turn it up. You're right, Icy. I could turn it up to 4K. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna skip DLSS. Let's see if we can get it to run in its best possible case. So this is 1440p, DLSS on balanced, and then we'll turn on frame generation and see what it is. I'm guessing 60.
That's probably a fair take.
I think it's going to be 60. And I bet you it'll still, it'll be interesting to see what the frame graphs looks like. But okay, so we're going to put balanced, turn frame generation on, make sure it's on balanced. I was running quality at 40 on the 4090. So, okay, here we go. Running benchmark. Nemesis says 55. I'm thinking 60, like solid. Ooh, I'm guessing it's going to be high 60s.
I think that switched back to DLSS auto, by the way.
If you go back and we'll see at the end, but it should be balanced. Oh, there's the 50s right there. Still some jitters there. This is better. It actually looks better than the regular DLSS though does. It's way smoother. It is very smooth right now. There's a couple little micro jitters, but I could play like this. What do you guys think?
Playable and enjoyable are two different things.
So you don't think you would enjoy it at this like this?
No.
Really? You haven't played a lot of console games, have you?
Yes.
I feel like console makes us way more tolerant.
I quit playing console like 15 years ago.
Icy says, reminds me of playing Warzone on an i5 2500K. Wow. Yeah, Nemesis, I think that's my problem is once you have been coddled. Like, cause I mean, all my main rigs are 4090s, right? You're right. Like, you're like, this is not right. Like, this should not be this good. But 68.83, not bad, not bad.
And yeah, it did switch back to DLSS auto.
I can't, I'll show you, it still was running balanced. But I'll try one more time. It does, there's no way, I've seen that every time. Because frame generation keeps wanting to put it back.
Yeah, frame generation does some weird things with their benchmark. There were a lot of people who were complaining about that.
Okay, let's just go in. Okay, let's go into the game. So now let's actually just play in here a little bit and then take a look at it, because it'll be interesting. It's one thing to run benchmarks, but it's different when you actually play. Okay, let's go to settings, just make sure we're unbalanced. Okay. Okay, we're now at 500 frames per second. Okay.
Fuck's your problem, Psycho Suit? This look like a landing pad to you? Could have fucking crushed us.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, no, hey, we ain't looking for no beef with you.
Seems trouble wants in.
I don't want any trouble. Just here on business.
Good to hear. Welcome to Lizzie's.
Okay, here we go. You can definitely see I mean, God, that looks so good, though. You can definitely see it's like not as smooth, for sure. Man, it still looks so blooming good, though. I think if you're used to this and like if this is how you've been playing, you'd probably be fine with it, you know? I don't know. I think it's on. Hold on. Motion blur is high. You want it off? So it's off now. Yeah, you can definitely tell, like, this is not as smooth as what we were playing last night. Yeah. You can definitely feel those stutters, yeah. Yeah. I like how everybody's like, I like how people like are curating how the game should look. Like, it's just making me, but it does. Like, you see, it's like little motion stuff, like little stutters that you kind of feel when you play.
I'm sure most of us in here have played Cyberpunk. It's one of those, we know what it should look like and feel like.
Well, if we go to, let's turn patch tracing off. And this is ray tracing now with balance, with frame generation. Wow, look at that difference. It just felt like, look how much flatter that all went. That just does not look as good. Holy moly. Patch tracing actually made a big difference in terms of just even how the lighting and stuff was on the walls. Just less, I don't know, it's baked. It feels baked, if that makes sense. Okay, well there's Cyberpunk, game number 1. 4070 could play at 70 frames per second. You definitely notice some micro jitters and stuff like that. Still jitters. Yeah, so. Now it looks like a 19, yeah, exactly. It doesn't have the same, it doesn't have a kind of the same effect and stuff like that. And I can turn, because we're benchmarking, I'll turn the game audio down, because we're not really in it for the game stuff. So we'll turn the game audio down. Okay, thoughts, guys, after seeing it? I don't think I guess what you're saying is, I wonder if we could get at 1080p. Ooh, that's actually worth testing. Hold on, let's do, why don't we test real quick 1080p? So if you wanted to go down to do patch tracing, what would you get? Yeah, it's just from benchmarking Sabine. Yeah, we've done a lot of, I've actually only played about 10 hours of this game. So we'll have to see. Let's look at.
Go
ahead.
For those of you that aren't friends with Robey on Steam or the other platforms, you would actually laugh whenever you know he's in a benchmarking session, because it'll be game, different game, different game, different game, different game, back to game one, repeat.
Yep, that's pretty much how it is. Okay, let's go to video. We're gonna go to 1080 just to see, and then we'll go to full screen. Ooh, this does not seem to be. Okay, there we go. There we go. Full screen. Okay, graphics. We're gonna change it to. We're gonna put ray tracing overdrive. Frame generation on. We'll go to quality. See if this works. And you guys want motion blur off. Okay, everything looks good. Okay, so this is path tracing 1080p path tracing with DLSS and frame generation. Looks like it's going to be in the 80s. Definitely got some frame tearing there. It definitely seems smoother. Doesn't look as crisp though. Yeah, 8 gigs at 1080p. This definitely feels smoother as long as you can fix the frame tearing. Wow, that sucks. I'm assuming Resident Evil 4, there's no benchmark in RE4, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So we just have to like play it. Man, lots of frame tearing. That didn't seem so bad. That seemed pretty reasonable. Like that is playable, I think. So, I mean, you could even go to, if they had ultra quality, but I think that's fine. Okay, well now we've seen that. I think we've beat to death the world of Resident Evil, of Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, Cyberpunk. Let's load up, let's do a little multiplayer. Let's just see what this thing is capable of, because I know this is one thing, another game that a lot of people done is, let's throw up Call of Duty. Oh. And just check basic settings, what multiplayer would be like in Call of Duty. Go back, there we go. Okay, let's load up Call of Duty. Call of Duty. Call of Duty. Oh, Season 3 literally just launched today. No, don't change my settings. Guaranteed the 6000 series will still have 12 gigs. So how is the new season? Has anybody played it yet? I bet you Cole has. So what should we test after this? What do you guys think? Hogwarts? It's good. Nemesis is played. Okay.
Hogwarts would be fun to see the memory usage for sure.
Okay. I don't have Destiny 2. It's funny, that's probably a game I will download from now on. Oh, Cole says not yet. I gotta wait till the children go to bed tonight.
The download for Destiny 2 on Epic is like 5 minutes, by the way, if you have Gigabit, which I know you do.
Yeah, we do. Well, apparently what I've gotten right now is a Call of Duty that's trying to figure out what's going on here. DirectX error. Oh, it's unrecoverable. Okay. That's good.
Was it Air 25?
I didn't actually read it.
That's the VRAM error.
Wow, do you think that's what we got? Okay, we'll find out here in a sec. Okay, let's try it again.
So you're gonna reload it, and I'm gonna back up your stream and find out.
That sounds like a plan. COD got a COD. So this was, we did run this yesterday. Let's just go yes. We'll go default settings. I might have had something in the settings.
It's one of the long error codes. I see. But it's the generic code 6066.
I was just curious. I was watching a 3070 Ti video and the same issue earlier.
How many of Zyson's probably drank like 40 bottles of water already.
I'm only on my 3rd cup of the day, so.
Yeah, this is not liking this. Yeah, there's a COD update today that is like causing the game to crash. Yeah, that's Next. Okay, no COD. Sorry, guys. I wanted to show you COD. Okay, but that's a no-go. Destiny, they have Destiny 2 on Steam, though, too, right? Or is it only on Epic? I think it's on,
on Steam as well.
It's on Steam as well. It's everywhere.
I think I have it. I think I own it. Like, I can start the download. There it is.
Well, I'd hope you own it. It's free to play anymore.
Oh, I don't. I guess I don't have it. It's free. Add to library. Okay, there we go. Okay, we'll install Destiny 2 and then we'll go to. It requires 87 gigs.
Yeah, it's not tiny.
Okay, well, we'll let it go. It'll take about half an hour, but let's go jump into Hogwarts. See what VRAM is like. Hogwarts 1440p. Max Bunny, while the games are being installed, how about Dota 2? We actually have lots of games already installed. It's just every once in a while somebody says new one, and I'm like, okay, let's put a new one in. So I've got Last of Us I want to try. We got Elden Ring if we want to see if we get 60 FPS in Elden Ring. Pretty sure we're going to be fine. Yeah. And again, this is just more to show if somebody's actually interested in this card, like here's what your performance is going to be like. People have to determine value. I mean, like some people are very loyal to NVIDIA and some people are not. And, you know, when you're looking at, I want to make sure that you have lots of options in terms of what it is. Some people are going to get this for different reasons. And, you know, maybe even looking at a pre-built. Yeah. Forspoken's actually a really good game. Oh, that's right, Icy Sniper, because I have to wait for the stupid, you have to actually wait for the maybe we'll test some laptop stuff while we wait for the shaders to load on that. Elden Ring ray tracing might not get 60 FPS. Araxidus, this is a 12900K. I hope so too. It should be fine. It's preparing shaders. I like this game. If you got any of you guys played this, this is a game I wish I had more time. I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, prices lower than any competitor. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't need to pay for viewership, my man. Thank you, though. Take your job elsewhere. Oh, Do the Drew wanted to say, what is ray tracing? Asking for a friend. Or do you want to take this?
All yours, man.
You guys, so there's a Wikipedia thing, but it's essentially okay. Somebody wants to know what ray tracing. So there's a Wikipedia article on it. You know, it would actually be a lot of fun. Let's do it this way, because I'm going to turn it into. We're going to use ChatGPT. This is the best way to do it. Here we go. This is what it is. Oh shoot. How many of you guys use this? What is ray tracing? Explain it like I was a 10-year-old. Here we go. Let's see what it says. Okay, while we're loading that and getting that up. Al Factors, it's like throwing water on your video game and making everything shiny. Okay. I like to throw Chat GPT in as much as possible. Okay, so here, by the way, guys, my Hogwarts guy, which I am actually a Hufflepuff in real life, but dude, I have to say, my guy is he's very attractive. Okay, ray tracing is a technique used in computer graphics to make images look more realistic. It works by simulating how light travels in the real world. Imagine you're in a dark room and you turn on a flashlight. The light from the flashlight bounces off the walls and objects in the room and eventually reaches your eyes. Ray tracing works by tracing the path of each light ray from its source, like a light bulb, to your eyes or camera. This helps create more realistic shadows, reflections, and lighting effects in images and videos. Does that help? That's pretty good. I have to say, that's pretty good.
Pretty accurate.
That's actually pretty accurate. That was actually that's why I like actually using ChatGPT. So it makes it look more real, but it's basically, it treats light more like the simple way we've always, it treats light more like how it works naturally. So when you have a single source or whatever it was, the light that's coming out of that is bouncing in a more realistic way, therefore making a more realistic trees. Yeah. Thanks, it does help. I'll tell him. Hey, there you go. This game is so pretty. Okay, so right now we're sitting at 60 FPS. Let's see what we have from a setting standpoint.
Are you capped? It kind of looks like it's capped.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's what I was saying. It looks like we're basically saying, okay, so we're in Windows mode on this monitor. DLSS is at quality. Frame generation is on. I didn't even know this had frame generation. Frame rate is uncapped now. We're getting 230 frames per second. Motion blur will turn off because you guys don't like it. Okay, so let's start with, we're at 1440p. Let's turn DLSS off and start from here. So we're at uncapped on DLSS off on our 4070. This game is so pretty. And this does have ray tracing on, by the way. Definitely some frame. Look at those frame stutters.
This area of the castle usually causes frame stutters on anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole... I think this is just typical. If I went outside... What? I think Icy's trying to get me to do so. Okay, go to camera settings. Is that here? Camera... He says... Turn camera acceleration to 0. And then turn max out camera sensitivity. Okay, we'll try it.
It just makes the way you look around much more natural.
Oh wow, that is much better. Wow, thank you. This game is pretty. Can we all agree? Can we all agree this game is pretty? Now the question is, how the heck do... Okay, let me... Oh, no, that was not what I wanted to do. How do I use the... I haven't played this game in so long, I forgot how to use the fire flame thing.
Hit M on your keyboard.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go outside. And then... Do you just click on it, right? Or do you use M again? No, that's just the map.
You have to click on the flames, but if you want to go outside, just click like world map.
There we go. We'll go here. Travel. Okay, so let's go run outside. Okay, so why? Look at our RAM. Our VRAM is at 8.2. 8.4. But is this kind of what you guys are expecting from a VRAM standpoint? I thought you guys were expecting higher. Is that just in Resident Evil?
I'm usually higher in this game on my AMD card.
Interesting.
If you're in Hogsmeade, it's going to be the highest.
So let's go to Hogsmeade then. Let's go there. There we go. There it is, 10, almost 10. but still well within. Oh wow, it just keeps going up.
If you're playing at 4K with ray tracing, it can go up to 16 gigabytes.
Wow. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so that's right now we're playing worst case. So if we go to settings, let's go to we want upscale DLSS. So we can go to balanced, which is actually what it is for 1440p. Frame generation on. Oh, let's turn frame generation off and let's just take a look at it here. So this is no frame generation. This is just playing with DLSS. Not a whole lot, not a big upgrade in terms of frames, right? Look at that little boy. He's riding on a little. I bet you if I pet the cat, it'll go higher. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it didn't do anything. But still, this is actually, I mean, 80. I mean, you're looking at 80 at 1440p with ray tracing and everything maxed. And this is without frame generation.
It's weird that it's only using 60% of the GPU.
I know, eh? Looks like our temps are fine. Still only 130. I mean, look at the wattage, too. Okay, we'll go up to max now. Let's go to settings. And we'll turn on frame generation. We definitely need uncapped frame rate now. By the way, thank you for that setting, Icy. So there we are, 140 now. So yeah, you're not gonna really have any problems in terms of playing with most modern day games at capped with good frame rates if you're using DLSS and frame generation. I don't know if 60 would be okay. I don't know. Thoughts, guys? It does make the game much more enjoyable. That was a really good call. Anything else you guys want to see in Hogwarts? Nothing?
Kill a troll.
Huh?
If you can kill a troll.
I haven't fought one. Like I said, what I like to do is I like to watch this lady paint, or this guy paint. That's what I do in the game most of the time is this right here. Just watch this guy paint. It's pretty good, right? Can you do that with your wand?
I'll plead the fifth.
Spiders kill. People are like, go kill stuff. I'm not that far into the game, guys. I don't even, let's see where I am in the game. Let's see where I am. I'm level 12. And I've got 9% of the challenges. That's what I've done. I don't have time to play games. I wish I had more time to play games, but you guys, they're laughing at me because all I do is, when I'm playing Steam, I'm playing benchmarks. Actually, I've been able to play a lot of Mass Effect Andromeda finally. Okay. So there's some Hogwarts. We're definitely seeing more VRAM usage, but definitely within the realm of the game being able to hold it. We saw 90% there for the game. Lots of little ticks, but nothing too crazy. Okay. See what's next. How do I get out of the game? Exit. There you go. Okay, we have, download queued. Okay, well that didn't work. Okay, why don't we while we wait for the download for this, why don't we jump over to mobile and take a look at 4070 mobile? You guys want to see a little bit of that? Because we haven't played with that at all. Okay, jumping to 4070 mobile, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let the game download. We're gonna get some Destiny going on.
Destiny will definitely make Blondie happy.
Oh, well then I'm not playing Destiny. Okay, here we go. So this is our Origin, what we're playing with now. This is the Origin Eon 16-S. I'll bring up the specs and stuff like that so you guys can see what we go. see this. So here we are. It should be coming up now. There we are. So this is the Origin Eon16-S. This is a 4070 and 13900H, I think, is the 13900H is the CPU. Mobile version, obviously, where, when we think about power, performance, all that sort of stuff, we'll bring it up. Let me show you guys, because it actually tells you what it's tuned to. Origin PC. So here we'll bring up the tuning, because I know one of the things is like everybody tunes their wattage. So just so that you know, the desktop version of this, and why I was so interested in this, is that the desktop version obviously pulls 183 watts when gaming. So it'll be interesting to see what the wattage is that you can pull on the mobile. So here's a PC we're using right now, the Eon16-S, 13900H. Again, you got 20 threads, 5.4 gigs. It's still going to run hot as heck. That's just kind of what it does. 8 gig tuned for 140 watts for max total GPU power. So that's about what 80 watts less than the desktop, which is when you used to look at it like the 3080 Ti, it was almost half what you used to be able to do from wattage from the desktop card. And like I said in the review that I did, a little bit of a review on the 4090, and even the one that Jay just did, the 4090 was outperforming a desktop 3090 in terms of gameplay and overall raw performance. Again, vapor chamber cooling in this. You will see here. You're probably seeing a little bit of it here. Here's the side, but you can actually see some of the customization. They've actually made a custom Robeytech Origin logo there. So the overall look is actually very, very cool. And then the other thing too is it's 5.6 pounds, 0.78 inches. And then we've got a 240 hertz, 2560 by 1600p display, so a little bit bigger than 1440p. And then it's got tons of connections. You can do up to 16 gigs. I think this one's got 32 gigs of DDR5. And then you've got your I/O and stuff like that. So the more interesting thing for me I was like, look, if we're going to test the 4070 on the desktop side, how does the mobile compare? Because that's just one of those things that I think a lot of people want to know. And again, these are much, much more. You're not expecting the same performance. I'm kind of with Jay on the fact that I don't think they should call them. I think they should have a different naming convention. And just adding the mobile moniker still doesn't give people a good idea of like, well, if it runs 4070 on a desktop, then it should run 4070 on a mobile. I don't think that's true. The couple things, soundscape on this laptop, I wish I could show it to you. The sound, it's got a sound, what is it called? It's not positional audio, but it's almost like an Atmos. And it sounds, the spatial, thank you very much, Icy. The spatial audio on this laptop is ridiculous. It's probably the best I've ever heard of a laptop, and I've tested a ton of laptops. So audio on this gets a big plus. The one thing you guys will notice really quick is that you'll need good audio because this laptop is loud, just as an FYI. I don't know, I didn't hear it as much out of Jay's review or his little preview, but you guys will hear the fans, and that's just one of the things just to be aware of. Now we are going to put this in performance mode. It's in quiet mode right now, which is right now it's dead silent, but we're going to put it into performance because that's what we'll need for playing games. And then, wow, did we just lock it? Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay, cool. I'm gonna make sure
already angry with you.
Nope, it's in performance. There you go. And then you can actually see, like, it does have some things. Oh, wow, we're actually getting temperature now. Okay, so there's our temperature. Oh, I'm going to go, I think I have MSI Afterburner already set up on this. Do you guys want to see frame time and stuff on this as well? I'm assuming yes.
The answer is always yes.
The answer is always yes. Okay, so let's go to monitoring. Let's see what we have here. We have usage. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take this. I'm going to steal this mouse. Mouse. Where are you, mouse? A little easier with this mouse. Okay, here we go. Nothing like watching a laptop review on a laptop that has the fan spun up just to watch Twitch. Yeah, I don't think this one doesn't do as bad. And honestly, these performance, entertainment, and power saving, like doing quiet for entertaining, it's awesome. You're not gonna have any issues with it doing that. Okay, so we have GPU core clock, memory clock, power. I'm gonna make sure memory usage is what you guys want. You want memory usages in here, temperature, and then do we have power? Power is in here too. Okay, cool. We have CPU temperature, CPU usage, CPU clock, CPU power, frame rate. We want frame time, and we want to show it as a graph, override, and we'll call it game. Okay, there we go. And then we'll look at, I think this is already set. Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool. So I had this one all set up because I was going to show you before. Okay, so let's open up Steam. Let's start with the end-all kill-all. Cyberpunk 2077. Here we go. Any calls on this? How do you think it's going to run? No idea, yeah?
What is the estimated performance comparison?
So it should be like a mobile 3080, but I'm expecting it should be on par with an RTX 3070, if I was going to guess. Of course, it's got AV1 and all that sort of stuff. So Nemesis says 35. There's the fans. They're loud.
Wasn't the mobile 4090 equivalent to the 3080?
So a mobile 4090 outperformed a 3090 desktop. No, the laptop will be fine. This is, again, they're made to run at these temps. Like, this is like, again, these are made to run at these temps all the time. That's like, there's no issue. It's not going to melt. It's just, it's loud. It sounds like it's going to take off. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to settings, graphics. So what do we have right now? We're going to go, let's just test it on the worst. Ray tracing, not on overdrive. Ray tracing on ultra. We'll put DLSS off.
You said
and
it
start
sounds
here.
Like it's about to take off. Are you sure you're not levitating right now, actually?
I am not levitating. No, that's just how loud it is. Okay, 2560 by 1600. So this is actually more than what we saw on the desktop version. So here we go, running the benchmark. It's heating up my water.
Well, you'll be able to brew yourself some tea before long.
Okay, so this is no ray tracing. This is ray tracing ultra at 2560, nothing else. This is just raw performance right now. You guys can hear the fans that much? There is a mode that we could do that does like more balanced, but again, we're just trying to get max performance out of this. Okay, so 21. So that's about what? We were seeing, how much was that less than the desktop? On raw, about 30 frames, right? I think we were sitting high 30s. Yeah, it's slow frame rate for mobile. Okay, so there we go. 20. Okay, let's try some DLSS and see where this ends up. It is using 99% of the 99% of the CPU though. Okay, here we go. Guys, the spatial audio on this is crazy. It literally sounds like it's all around me. I mean, it's really nuts. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's do DLSS Super Resolution. We're gonna go to Performance. And let's just see what it is without, this is just performance running, just performance DLSS with Ultra. We were in the 70s on the 4070. That's actually, you know what's funny? This actually looks like it's running smoother than the desktop version was. You're still getting a lot of those. Look at that heartbeats though, eh? Yeah, this is a laptop. Remember, this is not a desktop. This is a laptop. What do you guys think? Tex, you guys are quiet. Or is it just because you can't hear me over the fans? Yeah, it said it could do 144. It's still impressive for a laptop, right? Like if I used a mobile 3080, it would not be able to do this at all.
No, it's definitely not bad for a mobile card at all.
I know, right? That's it's better than I expected. Okay, let's do this. Let's do frame generation. Yeah, that's actually not too shabby. And again, these things are working really overtime to cool.
It feels like the laptop is favoring the CPU over the GPU.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed that too, right? I don't know if that's stuff that I don't know if that's stuff that the laptop's doing specifically. Okay, here we go. Video. Let's go to graphics. Okay, we'll turn off motion blur. Okay, here we go. We're gonna put on frame generation. This is the best it will do. Going back to, we're gonna go to back to balance. Okay, there we go. There we go. How close will it be to 100? Now this is something you do not get normally in a mobile. This is what you now get. Well, that's weird. It dropped. It's actually worse. Wow, that's interesting. It's like frame generation's not working, or this feels like a bug. It feels like there's a bug or something going on, because it shouldn't be this low. You didn't hit VRAM with frame generation off. Oh, you think that's why? You think frame generation is actually, it just runs worse on mobile? Icy, is that what you're saying? Again, this is new territory for me, so.
In the last run, it was sitting at like 7.1, 7.2, and right now it started at 8.2.
Oh.
Yeah, Robey, that mobile card's got an 8 gigabyte limit, correct?
Yep, yep. So it almost looks like it's getting affected.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that Hardware Unboxed was seeing when they were running even a 3070 and 3070 Ti on some games at 1080, some of the newer games at 1080 Ultra. It's reaching once it reaches that VRAM cap, it's kind of like reaching your RAM cap on your system, you know, and everything just drops dramatically.
Interesting. Okay, well let's do, okay, so we'll keep frame generation on. Let's just try this just to see what happens. Here we go, path tracing. So it feels like really the best thing to do is actually to run it with, oh man, this thing does not like this. Is to run it like plain DLSS actually runs a little bit better. Yeah, DLSS performance might work. Which is actually, this is a higher resolution than balance, so that might be okay. Let's do that first. Let's do that first, Icy, to see if that ends up getting better frame generation, and then see what our VRAM is. So we'll set it up to perform it. We're gonna leave path tracing off. Okay, let's see if this. Again, impressive for a mobile GPU, but yeah, you might see some limitations just with the VRAM. So I didn't know the mobile 4070 only had 8 gigs. So we're definitely north of 60 now. I will say this does feel smoother. There's still some micro jitters there for sure. $70 now. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad for not bad for a mobile. I mean, this is like, you could not do this on a 30 series mobile GPU. And trust me, I spend a lot of time with 30 series mobile GPUs. Yeah, almost 80 watts.
30 series mobile would be a lot newer than any mobile I've got.
Okay, here we go, guys. It's time. It's time to throw the gauntlet at it. You guys ready? Path tracing. And by the way, we'll have a 4090 one. Falcon Northwest is sending us a 4090 one, so we'll be able to test that too. Okay, here we go. The game's almost downloaded, by the way. Okay, here we go. Let's throw it in here. Path tracing on, apply, run benchmark. Here we go. To one Slayer. Looks like it's going to be in the 40s.
Something that'd be interesting, Robey, is that 4090 mobile is supposed to be around the same performance as the 47 desktop.
Yeah, we'll be able to play with that a little bit later. I think we get it next week. Guys, this is 30 frames with path tracing.
And right at your basically right to your memory cap too.
Yeah, I know, which is, yeah, there again, we hit memory cap there. But I mean, it's gonna basically 30, north of 30. This is essentially quality mode on a console, but dude, console can't do this. What CPUs are good for the 4070? An AMD side, the 5800X 3D if you want to save a little bit of money, or you can do a 7800X 3D if you just want something you can grow into. On the Intel side, a 13.7 or 13.6 would be great. What do you guys think? Any thoughts? Techs? CPU for 4070.
Only thing I would add is, you know, it just depends on the price you get the CPUs at too. If the 7700X creeps back down closer to $300 again, I think it's a great value because you're not getting 50% more performance out of a 7800X 3D. So.
It said, console at least has shared GDDR6 RAM. It says, swapping it between DDR and GDDR6 is causing the performance loss with VRAM limits. Ah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But you still, I mean, like, again, it's just, the thing is the cards in and of itself, they're just being dated on the console side. Okay, so 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second with path tracing on Cyberpunk 2077 on a mobile GPU. That's actually pretty dang cool. I mean, I don't know if people would play with that, you know what I mean? But like, it's the one thing is if you can get the soundscape and stuff like that with it, that's actually pretty neat. Let's any other games? Let's see if Modern Warfare runs on this. That'll just be interesting. And again, it's like if you can set the soundscape to be a little bit more, just trying to see what the best is for the performance. You guys have over under on whether this is going to run?
I'm not taking that bet.
If I get a 7000 X3, will I need? Yes, you will, MTB. But DDR5 isn't that expensive anymore.
And on top of that, if you live near, the holy grail of computer places, there's a lot of bundles to where the RAM's actually free, or almost free.
Guys, this one's gonna make it. This is gonna make it. It's gonna make it. Why does it run on this and not run it? Okay. Well, we got through on that one.
Maybe when you switch back over to the desktop, give her an old reboot first.
What? When we get over to desktop, what? I can't hear you over the fans. What?
When you get back over to the desktop, give it a reboot and try and load Modern Warfare again.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll do that now. I'll reboot it now. Oh, it's restarting. That's right. I'm gonna do that now because Destiny's downloaded, guys. Okay, restarting the the desktop. Is this interesting, guys? We're still keeping a good number of people. This is different than more normal content for sure. So appreciate you guys hanging out. Are you guys, make sure you hit likes on YouTube, right? Because if you guys want to see this content, we obviously want more people to go and do this. So the Founders 47 came out today, and when will the other 40? I think they're tomorrow, NTB. Head on over to youtube.com/Robeytech and hit that thumbs up button. How many likes do we actually have, Blondie? How do I skip this? I don't want to watch this. Oh man, it's gonna make me watch this, isn't it, guys? Let's get to can we get to 150 at least? Let's go hit the likes, guys. Head on over youtube.com/Robeytech Live. Hit the thumbs up. Oh, geez. Sometimes I think this is what Cole practices at her house.
But with a cane.
Yeah, but with a cane. This is why she has to wait for the kids to go to bed.
Assuming I haven't stolen her cane.
So the MSRP ones, there are certain, like the dual one that we're showing here today, that one's gonna be $5.99. The other ones will be more expensive. Oh, she rolled her eyes. Okay, wow. How many games are out there pushing you to buy a new video card? It ain't Cyberpunk or Dying Light. I got backup canes. I feel like I've seen that guy in a TV show or something. Yeah, the price is, that's what it is, guys. It's 600 bucks. Is anybody getting a 4070?
Not I.
So all of the techs are buying them.
On your credit card, maybe.
What? I don't even know what that is. Okay. Oh my gosh. I just wanna. Okay. It takes like an hour just to. Okay, close. I want home. Thank you. Okay, there we go. That was a lot of work just to get here. Okay, let's go to graphics. We'll go to quality. Let's go to basic. There we go. We're gonna see we're gonna give it the best here. Not SCSS. There you go. Balanced. Okay. Fly. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this does. Okay, here we go. How does a mobile 4070 with balanced perform in, well, like usually a you know, we never got to see what it did on a desktop, so hopefully it'll run on the desktop. I'm gonna go while it's running here. See if I can launch on the desktop side. Maybe it'll work this time. Oh, I can't do it at the same time. Okay, Cyber, a lot of people thinking about it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are waiting to see what's going to happen with the 4060 Ti. So we're looking at 129 frames per second. I don't know if I knew what to expect, you know what I mean? In terms of what I thought it might run at. Not that I would complain that 130 is... Feels like it's freaking out. Oh, there it goes. Not that I would complain that 128 is bad. That's actually pretty good for 1440p.
No, 138 is definitely playable.
Yeah, I think that's definitely playable. Especially and it's also nice frame rate for, I mean, 120 plus is great for even competitive, right? Like they're saying the jump to 144 was noticeable. 140 to 240 is kind of like meh. It's there, but 120 is like a really nice sweet spot for gaming. I'm just gonna check my settings real quick, just make sure that we had the settings right. 2560, it is higher than 1440. I keep forgetting about that. So it actually is a little bit higher than 1440 there. And so that, yeah, with basic, that actually looked pretty good. And it was running at, we should probably, here, let's try this. I wanna see what this looks like. 128, what do we get with performance mode? VRAM on this game doesn't seem so bad. Can the 4070 do stable 240 hertz at 1080p? On this game, at basic settings, yes. And I would say the thing, I think for Fortnite, no problem. Apex Legends, no problem. Valorant, no problem. CSGO, no problem. Yes, the answer to those questions is yes. It depends on the game you're talking about, Finesca. If you're talking about at Cyberpunk, no. So it's up to 140, closer to 140.
I'd say it's probably averaging about 145 right now, which is about where you want to see it.
I mean, again, this if you were gonna go to your hotel room at the end of the night, play some COD on basic setting, play some multiplayer COD, this would be awesome.
Well, if you were gonna go to a hotel and do that anyway, you're got to be more worried about the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that used to not be the problem, right?
Yeah.
you had to worry about the hardware. Like, I'd love to play this, but yeah, anything above 100 frames per second on a laptop is really good. Okay, let's see what else. So that's Modern Warfare. Looks like it's running great. I want to just see one other game, just because we just take a look at it, and it was something we can compare. Let's take a look at Hogwarts real quick, and see how this runs. We've done this. This will kind of give us the roundabout, but I want to see where Hogwarts was with this. Also has frame generation, uses a higher amount of VRAM, so it'll be interesting to see how this performs on mobile.
Yeah, especially since Hogwarts, you were pushing, 11 gig of VRAM.
11 gigs, yeah, for sure. You may be, I mean, like, it's funny because I feel like, yeah, it sounds like what even some of the stuff that Org's talking about, the things that actually might end up saving you is playing at lower texture resolutions and stuff like that. Like, you could still be playing at the frame, but you might want to lower your texture resolution to just use less VRAM. Are you guys seeing what you want to see out of a review like this? Is there other stuff you guys would like to see? It's like really just about showing you games, showing you performance, letting you experiences like I do. Don't forget, RX 6950 is $650, yes, which is basically a 3090, which is quite a bit above a 4070. BMOC is quiet today. Is he still there? Yeah, is he? Hey, you're just quiet today, buddy.
Oh, we had more people in the chat trying to spread around the wealth.
Well, that is very kind of you. Everybody, thank you, BMOC. No, guys, are you enjoying having the text in the chat? Do you guys feel like this is it feels more conversational, more alive, less Robey staring off into space while he thinks about how he's going to fix the PC? Are you guys enjoying this? Can it run Atari 2600 Pac-Man? Yes, it's fun. Good. Okay. We have some really great text. So, and then we have, I want to see Tetris with DLSS 3.0. Good. I like Robey staring into space, though. Who doesn't?
I mean, after he stared into space for 5 minutes, it always gives us something to make fun of him for later.
That is true. That is true. I miss Duck Butt. Tetris will definitely need frame generation for sure. I'm glad you guys are not. Like, again, this is the stuff that we're trying to do and build more of these kind of experiences for you guys in these streams and stuff like that. And I think the other thing, too, is I think we're the only ones, techs, that have shown both mobile and desktop in their review, right? That's unique. Come on. It's
the only one I've seen.
There we go. Can it play Roblox? Okay, here we go. I'm interested to see how this goes. So this has got the same settings. They'll cross over. Wow, did you see that dip there? There's a RAM usage capping real quick. It's keeping a very solid 60. Is it capped? I thought it was. There's no way.
It looks capped.
It's at quality. Oh, so it's like it saved the last one. You're right. Okay. Uncapped, okay. Frame generation is on. Okay, let's just see what we get. Guys, this is kind of better than I thought it was going to be. Wow. Does it have my other setting in there? Hold on. This is pretty playable, I gotta say. I mean, you're looking at the look. The VRAM is not hitting 8. It's staying sub 7. Why is it doing that? And this is on a mobile GPU, guys, which is pretty dang cool. Guys, this text, this looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all, especially for a mobile GPU.
Some games you can set the VRAM percentage limit, so I don't know if that game may have that where it's set to like 80 or 90% of the VRAM buffer. So it doesn't
like in an advanced mode or something?
I haven't played that game at all, so I just know that some games do have an amount, so you can make sure you don't go above.
Oh, ray tracing isn't on. Okay, we're turning ray tracing on, guys.
And our frames dip.
Okay, we gotta restart. I wonder if we didn't have it on the other one. We must not have. I'm guessing we didn't.
Part of the way the shaders load in that game, it also runs like a built-in GPU benchmark to adjust settings.
Say that one more time.
When it's doing the rendering shaders in the beginning, it actually runs like a built-in benchmark because I've swapped GPUs and had completely different settings.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was doing that based on what you had. And it was different, but it was also doing it ideally for resolution as well, too, yeah? Because it's usually baking the shaders for that, too. Because it is a different resolution. But, I mean, it didn't change the settings.
Right.
Do the Druid actually was pretty good.
Mine was the same resolution because it was locked to my monitor, but like completely different settings when I threw on a 6700 XT versus my 1070 Ti.
Oh, Smokebeard, thank you very much, man. And the drama, Cambia, K-Dog. By the way, guys, thank you for the sub. Also, it looks like the Dharma. Thank you very much for the sub as well. Appreciate it. 16 viewers over on Kick. Sorry, guys, I can't see your chat. It doesn't look like you guys are just hanging out. So what's up, Kick? It's preparing shaders again. Yeah, we don't have a built-in benchmark. I'm sorry, Cray. I do a lot more benchmarking than getting to play games. Okay, here we go. Ray tracing now. Do you see the ray tracing on the title sequence, guys? Okay, now we're in ray tracing. So we lost about 20 frames, but this is still really good. Wow, look at that. It's a different painter this time. Oh, she copied the guy's work. It's not the same. It's the same painting. This lady's. Is that water in her bag? Look, there's water in her bag. This is playable. It definitely is doing something in terms of it feels very smooth. I think it might be, I wonder if it's screen size too, like if you're getting some visual like options like that. Here, let's do this. Let's jump into the, let's go to Hogwarts. Let's see how this is. Okay, so here we are. Now we're at Hogwarts.
It was said this game was just patched so that it has more dynamic VRAM usage, so you might see popping or more textures not being complete.
I see what you're saying. Seems to be doing, I mean, it's doing a much, I mean, again, it's funny because if you think about the percentage versus what we saw on the desktop version, and you're seeing some, I don't know if the shadow popping and stuff like that, but one thing I will say is that, remember on the desktop version, it was about the same percentage of VRAM being used. Of the 10, of the 12, and this is sticking around the same level here. Where's a stupid door? I don't know my way around Hogwarts at all. Hey, I just got a flu thing. There you go.
I see. We're gonna need to have you give Robey here a guide.
I'm in the quad. Have you tested with rebar on and off? No, I always test with rebar on. So this does not. This has rebar on. Is it? I don't know why. I don't know. With we definitely want rebar and above 4G decoding on. I don't know. That's just you're losing performance. I don't know. Is there a performance benefit if you go turning rebar off? Well, I'm running all around the outside of Hogwarts, and they don't seem to be having a problem. Oh, you can't jump over that.
There were a few outliers based on the hardware that turning rebar off might give you a little more performance, but it varied per game.
Okay. Yeah, I found the door, guys. Oh, wow, look at that. That's ray tracing right there, baby. The lighting looks so good. There's a lot of texture popping, though. I don't remember seeing that in the desktop one. But I could be wrong. It looks good. I got no complaints. I think this is proven playable. Okay, well there it is, guys. Mobile 4070. Again, you're seeing there, and then all we got to do is go like this, and then listen. And then I just want to, I don't know if this comes across. Let me see if there's a way. We gotta, let me try. I wish there was a way to show like there's no way to do it because anything I play will be copyrighted. So I wish I could show you guys. Oh, I can do it here. I can do it this way. Hold on. Let me show you this. Okay.
Are you wanting something that's copyright free for music?
No, I'm wanting something copyright free for spatial audio, which I don't think that exists.
There There's actually a YouTuber that I follow. Let me see if his stuff is.
Let me do. I can play Soundscape, which will be fine, but I just want to give you guys an idea. I don't think there's any way to do this that, like, it's gonna work. There's no way to get this across. Yep. It doesn't work. I mean, I want to show this, but I'm watching, so right now what I have playing is oh, you know what? I can do this. You can do Top Gun Maverick trailer, and it's fine. Anyway, it's like literally, there's no way to describe it, but it literally sounds like the audio is just coming everywhere, which is crazy. So anyway, but there, now look, it's completely quiet. So if you want to sit down and enjoy some movies or anything like that afterwards, after playing some games, definitely something that if you're going to use something like this, you're going to want to have a headset for gaming and stuff like that. But okay, Tex, we played with the 4070 mobile, which is a very different, value proposition. Again, laptop's around $2,000 in terms of cost. That gets you a 13,900 with a 4070 mobile. What do you guys think? Let's kick it off with BMOC. What do you think? Based on what you've seen.
Looks like he had to leave or he disconnected.
Yeah, BMOC disconnected from voice.
Oh, okay. I can't see the chat. Okay, then let's see who's up at the top now. Is that Maiden? Are you there?
No, Maiden is gone as well. You have myself, Org, and Icy.
Okay, so let's start with Org. What do you think? Let's start with Org. Sorry. Based on what you've seen.
Overall, it seems pretty okay. The 12 gigabytes of VRAM will be okay as long as you don't do Ultra with ray tracing in every game. The laptop with the 8 gigabyte might be an issue when the game doesn't regulate the VRAM usage, though.
Okay. What do you think, Zeiston?
If I was in the market for a new laptop, that would actually be probably fairly high up on my list. It performs where you would expect it, and it doesn't melt.
Were any of you guys surprised at the numbers that you saw from the mobile side? Like, I don't know, I guess I think I expected them to be a little bit lower. So actually, I thought I saw the games perform better on this than I anticipated. Like Hogwarts specifically, and even Cyberpunk with path tracing, I think I was expecting much lower numbers than I saw.
No, it was. I feel that it was within at least realms of margins for where it should have been.
Okay. I was just curious. Yeah, for me, I was genuinely surprised by some of the performance I saw. The one thing I would say that would be hard is just, if you're going to game, you're definitely going to need a headset, because I think everybody talked about the fact that these fans are a little loud. But I'm not, they have to have that kind of power, you need something very powerful to cool it. The other thing too is that you can upgrade, like you can take the bottom off, you can upgrade the RAM, you can upgrade the NVMe drive, so you do have easy access to the laptops in general, which is actually pretty cool. I have the mic stand crank too, but have needed to buy something like a cardio mic. Or we might have to send you something, just so you guys can all have good mics. I think it's going to be on the list to just make sure everybody has really good mics. So you guys might be getting a Christmas gift from Robeytech. So just because you guys are on the channel now. Okay, let's jump over to. So it's a 3080 Ti, the 4070. I mean, what do you mean, Araxnus? I'm just curious what your question means, and then we're going to jump back into the desktop there. So overall, I'd say impressed with the laptop. I think where we're getting is the limitation that Org's saying is that you might have certain games that run into the 8 gigs might become an issue on the mobile side, but in terms of what we saw from performance-wise, we're pretty good. Yeah, the laptop is a 4070M, yes. And in terms of from a desk, I think, well, here, let's run one more game. I have a comparison here. So this is a 3080 Ti on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider with ultra performance, highest preset 1440p, we saw 148 frames per second. So let me while we're downloading on the other one, I'll go and download Shadow of the Tomb Raider on here, and then we can test it, and then see how it compares against a mobile GPU. And then while we're doing that, let's see if we get lucky and on the desktop side here. And we're gonna go. Well, let me see let's see how big is this? Because it's gonna we may not want to switch. That's only 28 gigs, so it won't take very long to load. Was shown today not comparing the what was shown today not comparing the performance. What was the question? I didn't read the question. Sorry.
No, earlier about the 4070 or 3080 Ti.
Oh yeah, we have comparisons on those. We actually showed those off a little earlier. If you guys just want to see, here's comparisons between those. I can bring those up just on so you guys can see the charts we showed earlier. And we've done those again. I feel like there's a lot of that information already out on reviews. So we're just trying to show people other games and then have discussions and answer questions. But here is just some raw chart data for you if you want to see where it basically lands in terms of the 3080 Ti and the 3080. So there you go right there. While we're waiting for downloads. Oh, well, Raxus, the short of it is that it's in between a 3080. It's around a 3080. It sometimes outperforms a 3080, specifically when you're using NVIDIA heavy titles. You'll see better performance there. When you compare it against like AMD titles or AMD, you're going to see closer to 3080 performance. So yeah. So no, for sure, we want to make sure we answer those questions too. But we're trying to be a little bit different than the content that you get in a lot of other YouTube videos, right? In terms of giving variation. So yeah. But yeah, it's not really a 3080 Ti. It's really a 3080 with AV1 encoding, more VRAM, GDDR6, same number of CUDA cores, and less power usage. Anything else you guys would add to that, Maiden or Org? And more cost.
More cost, some more performance. I think that sums it up.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for the game. We're gonna get a direct comparison for at least on some game on mobile. So we're just gonna let this finish downloading. Any other questions? Any other stuff that we can answer, guys? Anything else that you guys would like to see today? That could be could be beneficial. We're gonna check out Destiny 2, and you guys wanted to see that. And then outside that, I don't think there is much. Icy, can he chat yet, or is he still at work? I don't think
Icy's hitting this.
I'm chatting.
Oh, he is chatting. Okay, there he is. Yeah. How does it run Dredge? I don't know. I'm still confused as to why NVIDIA reserved the smaller 3080 FE dual slot design for a vanilla 4070 and not the 4080. And I think DJ Techno is kind of getting the fact that the design, the cooler design, is overkill for what the actual card needs. Is that what you mean, DJ? And then somebody, MTB Fonska, says, good motherboard for the 7800X3D. All in all, like any of the Asus B550s are good. I love the Tomahawks from MSI. What do you guys think? Any recommendations, Zeiston?
You've kind of hit it. I know that BMOC has had a lot of success with the ASRock Still Legend and the Tai Chi as well.
Yeah, I know. ASRock, I need to do. We definitely need more of those cards on the show. Wouldn't you agree? I need to use more of their Mobos. I'll reach out to them and get a smattering so we can get some more of those on here. Yeah, I mean that's where I think it is, right? I think those are good. Like again, it's actually pretty easy to find good boards. Well, I don't know. The thing though, Techno, is they just look so good in big cases. So I appreciate the larger cards. Aesthetically, they're pretty. No, I think I've gotten so used to them. Like, it's funny because I remember when we first had 40 series, they were just so massive. And then now it's like I'm now used to the size. So when you held something else, you're like, it's so small.
Well, I would also lean into, I have a feeling that NVIDIA follows everyone's press releases, as does AMD, as does Intel. And how many times was Intel flamed for their poor temperatures?
Yeah.
How many times has AMD been flamed for their designed thermal limits for AM5? Let's over cool.
Yeah, and I will say that you know, when I've done a lot of these live reviews or people have seen us bench builds afterwards, they're always like, look at those GPU temps, and they're always really good, which is true. So you're not, I don't think you're wrong. That's actually really good insight.
You know, I've never once complained about the thermals on my 3070 Ti.
Yeah. So, and then even on the 4080, I mean, I remember what was it? We were looking at a build not that long ago. It was the Hyperion, right? The Hyperion had like ridiculously low 4080 temps on that Strix 4080, and you were like, look at those GPU temps.
Yeah, weren't they in the 40s?
Yeah, it was like super low. Yeah, my Asus 3060 Ti runs in the 60s. Yeah, it was like the 40. It was super low. So I think it's just, maybe they're over-engineered for that. And some people say, yes, you can do things like you can have more thermal headroom. But to be clear, I mean, even Linus said in his video today that there just wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot of headroom even for overclocking in that case. Like basically the cards were so dialed in, there wasn't much you could do on the overclocking side. By the way, I really appreciate all of the GIF, the imagery and stuff, and little the emojis that we have over on the kick side. It looks like a rave over there right now. Zystan with all his stuff. We got Flaming Dog, and yeah. It's I wish CPUs had the same problem though. I mean, the 7700 from AMD. I mean, that one, like, it's like you get done, you're like, man, the CPU temp on that is like nothing. It's like you can blow on it and cool it. Any other questions? We're just waiting. Big Chungus GPUs, James says. Yeah, for sure. Trying to see. We're just waiting for the lastest download. It's almost done. And then we'll try that. We're going to see what it compares to a mobile 3080 Ti. And we'll after that, we'll go in and check a couple more desktop games and then go from there. And then we'll call it a day. I got dinner in 30 minutes. So I feel like this is a good... What could we add? You guys... Zystan, anything we could add to these reviews that you think would be more useful?
No, you're hitting numbers, hitting value, comparing them to something similar from last generation. Because, to be honest, most people don't need to upgrade their GPU every generation, but a lot of people do. So if you can have something that you can directly compare it to from the previous generation, you're showing numbers, power usage, frame times, I think we're set.
So Icy says maybe a productivity benchmark, especially desktop versus mobile. Do you mean like you want like Cinebench, or are you thinking like 3D Mark? Icy. James, I'd love to show
or
Microsoft.
Even like a Blender.
Oh, okay. Like Blender render. Okay, I'll set that up for next time.
Yeah, just something where people will know, hey, I'm gonna go from a desktop to a laptop, but I can still do my work.
Okay. Yeah, there's some of them on 3D Mark as well, but okay, I can set that up for next time. I'd love to see some productivity. I think they mean like Puget. Okay. Somebody's saying, is the 4070 worth it for the price? Cinebench we could definitely run, and we should get a Cinebench score. I have the 40, so we can show what the 13900K is, because we obviously know what a 13, so we'll run a Cinebench on there now. Why don't we do it now? And then you guys can see with that at least. I don't have Blender or 3D. I do have 3D Mark, but we don't have it installed. We just got our new product keys, but I'll do that for next time. I'll make sure it's in the review. James asked, what about Microsoft Flight Sim 2020? Guys, I would love to, but you need to download that game for like 3 days because it's so freaking big. I do have it installed. I will try and have it in the future, but I need to plan that like a day in advance because to download all the world files. But let's check out, now, just understand we're going to jump over here to the capture on our desktop here, our laptop, which is just about finished. Cinebench. Cinebench score on a 13900K is about 40,000. Just below 40,000, unless you're Falcon Northwest, then it's over 40,000, because they just dial it in, and they also bin all their 13900Ks. Okay, so let's just run Cinebench here. Yeah, I know, that's what he's saying. We're just going to look at the 13900H, yeah. Oops. Cinebench. There we go. So let's see what this basically comes out at. Let me make sure it's at performance. That would also make sure we're good. Okay, here we go. By the way, it's going to hit 100. Just be ready. That's by design. We'll just run a little 10-minute, well, actually, we'll just run a multi-core one right there, and that'll give you an idea. 85, 87. Fans are going to start going right now. There they go. Took a little while for them to kick in.
That's the first time I've clearly heard them since I'm listening to you through Discord audio.
Yeah, when you're running on quiet, it's literally silent. And the GPU and it runs great for basically anything like small, like Word, email. That will run at near silent without any problems whatsoever. And I definitely recommend, if you get one of these, to either set it to entertainment or quiet when you're using it, because it will try and give it more power than it needs. So there we go, right there, 16,000. So that'll give you an idea, 16,038. So about what, almost half plus in terms of less than half plus in terms of what a regular 13900 would get. Versus, so. But yeah, you're right. I do need to do some so to show what it does. I mean, it's still a powerful CPU, especially on the mobile side. It's still a powerful CPU. It's just, understand you're not going to get desktop performance because, again, it's got nowhere near the same amount of power draw. I'm curious how the 13900H would compare against the 7700 though. I wish I had a 7700, a Ryzen 7700. That'd be an interesting just comparison. Okay, actually I'm gonna put this back on performance because we're gonna compare this now against a 3080 Ti mobile, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We're gonna set the same settings and then we'll see what the frame difference is. How's the laptop on? Go ahead.
No, I was actually getting ready to answer the same question you were just reading.
Oh, how's the laptop on 1440p games? Drew, very impressive. So we were playing Hogwarts Legacy with ray tracing on max and everything maxed out, with frame generation in the 70s. If you wanted to take that off, we got closer to 80. We saw 150 frames per second. 144, 140? No, it was less than that. 130, wasn't it? 130 frames per second on Call of Duty. And then on Cyberpunk 2077, if you use DLSS without frame generation, you were looking like you were in the 60s. And that's with everything on Ultra. Yeah. Yes, it is, Drew. That is with the 4070. That's what you're looking at right now. This is the 4070 spec Origin laptop right here. I should write these down next time, guys. That would be a better idea versus just going out. Okay, so we're going to do DLSS. We're going to set it ultra performance to make sure it was the same as what we did last time. Full screen, graphics. Whoop, whoop. We're going to put graphics on highest. So this is 2560 by 1600 graphics on highest. Let's see what we see. Let's see what we got. And then we're going to compare this against the 3080 Ti mobile. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is not 1440p. Sorry, one sec. I need to set it to 1440p. This is 2560 by 1600. That's actually going to be higher. 2560 by 1440. That's what we want. Okay, here it is now the same. Oh no, crud! No, it's not. It's not. Okay, one change, sorry. I need to make sure it matches the 3080 Ti settings. And the highest preset. Okay, here we go. Now we're matching. Okay, here we go. So this is highest preset. Ultra performance, we got average frames per second on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We got 148 on a 3080 Ti. Mobile. With a 12th gen. Wow, I was not, so that is definitely higher than a 3080 Ti mobile. We'll see what it gets the end. It's not done.
Yeah, you still have the big section there towards the end of this benchmark.
Yeah.
A lot of times tanks in.
VRAM's up there still. Yeah, this might actually be pretty close. Hi, Robey. I ordered a 13900K from Micro Center. When I installed it, the BIOS says it's a Celeron D6900. Thoughts? I've never seen a BIOS say that it's not a 13900K. Guys, it sounds like the trees are all around me. Batter, has anybody seen Batter's issue before? Any of you guys on my, any of the techs? Oh, Org left.
Where was it?
Batter T says, I ordered a 13900K and when I installed it, it says it's a Celeron D6900.
Okay, so I kind of have a thought on that. Someone else bought that 13900K and they switched it out and they did a return at Micro Center. Take that back to Micro Center. Do not play with it. Someone else has played with this played with it. They probably deleted another one, went back through. It's been messed with. It's been known to happen. It's happened at Micro Center. It's happened at Amazon. It's happened at Newegg.
Well, there you go. Wow, so you think somebody actually tampered with it?
Yeah. It probably legitimately is a Celeron chip that someone else had bought another 13900K with, and then basically deleted that 13900K, returned the Celeron, and got their money back. They got a 13900K delit for free.
Wow, that's okay. People are like, I think I just have the, I always want to do the, I always want to expect the best out of people, and I'm learning that that's not always true. Yeah, it happens all the time. Wow, Igor, that makes me feel bad about humanity.
There was one of the TechTubers actually did a pretty big video on it last gen when they received one that had been scammed out like that.
Wow. That is messed up. Is your Micro Center local? Should be a G6900, not a D6900 too. Oh, okay, there we go. 145, guys. Okay, so this 4070 mobile is 3 frames per second lower than a 3080 Ti mobile. That's actually pretty good. That is, I thought it was going to be lower than that. So when we compare that against the Evo16-S, which is an AMD advanced laptop, we're looking at oh, never mind, that's So this is a 3070 Ti mobile. It is about 20 frames faster. So yeah. So yeah, there you go. So there you go, yeah. What's a good benchmark to use for a new PC build? Stocky Jack, I think really, for gaming, I like to use Cyberpunk, just because it's got a really good benchmark. I also like to use COD, because it's one of those ones that a lot of people just have out there. You could use 3D Mark, which they have a free version. I think they have a free version. Isn't there a free version of 3D Mark? Or maybe I'm just so used to owning it.
They do have a free version, and you know, in all reality, they throw it on sale all the time for like $5 for the entire suite.
Yeah, so I mean, 3D Mark is another one. So there's actually a bunch, but for gaming, I like to use, those are the ones I like to use. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 and COD. Okay, guys, let's go back to the desktop version real quick, and then we'll wrap this up because we're getting close to having to be. I'm getting close to having to get back for dinner, so I'm having too much fun.
That water before you get home.
I know. I have like a half of water bottle here. I have to pee like a racehorse, but it is what it is. It's good for me. Okay, here we go. Let's get this in and see what. Let's try and see if we can get COD one more time. Guys, I plugged it in the Mobo. That was not going to be useful. Okay, so this little dual card though, not bad. Oh, I need to get out of this. It's bigger, by the way. It's bigger than a 48, bigger than the FE though. So it's actually a thicker card. The only thing is it's got an 8-pin versus a 16-pin. So I don't really understand. It's not, from the form factor standpoint, it doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. Okay, let's see if COD runs. We rebooted now.
I see you trying to load it.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see if it works. It's saying no mic. Did the reboot help? Nope. Man, it's running. It's like not even getting as far as it did last time. It might be the pre-release drivers. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay, so we wanted to show. I don't even know what Destiny's going to be like. Let's try and load it real quick and see what happens. Somebody's playing Destiny right now. Android Fighter X.
Quick, Blondie, hop into Destiny and challenge him to a Crucible match.
Oh, geez. I gotta install this Battle Eye launcher. Looks like a RAM error. I wonder what the RAM. Oh, you think it's because of it? You think maybe because of it? I'm not doing anything weird with it. Oh, I forgot to run MSI Afterburner. Hold on. I don't even know if this is going to have any. Okay. If you want your Guardians from another platform, then I can do this. Guys, it's okay. Let's return the title screen. The problem is that none of my stuff is saved. I might have to show this another day. Because none of my cross-save stuff is brought over, or I think I actually have Destiny 2 characters. Okay. Guys, we're gonna have to, I think I'm gonna have to call it. It's 4:50. I want to say huge shout out to obviously my techs for sticking around for so long. You guys are incredible. Somebody's saying, I can tell you that they're having a conversation going on, huh? I did see a short where Robey was saying you have to enable certain, yes, I do have a whole step-by-step video on how to set up everything on an X3D, 7950 and 7900 X3D. So, guys, you guys were awesome. I super appreciate you being here. I hope this was useful. If you have feedback, if there's anything that we can do to make it better, head on over to discord.gg/Robeytech and leave us a feedback. If you wouldn't mind, before you leave, run on over, hit a thumbs up on that YouTube video. Trying to get to 150 likes at least on that one. Outside of that, we are back tomorrow. We're going to be doing a 4070 build, which we are going to be giving away as well. So that's going to be the sub-only giveaway for the Twitch folks and the Discord folks. And then again, we still have things up for grabs over at Kick, but regular build stream tomorrow night starting at 5 p.m. Pacific. Anyway, guys, have a great night. Tex, thank you again for being amazing. Mods, thank you for being amazing. And then, of course, my amazing audience as well. Have a great night, guys, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys.